Hello, welcome to the Brida Community News. Today is Sunday, March 27, 2022. Today's headline: Friday posts a message. We go into detail to learn what Friday did, what Friday said, what we do to react, what we say in our reaction, why we need this, and how this will help you. So let's look at what Friday posted. She wrote, "Hello, my name is Friday Chaton-Peters. As you can see, I am a cat and I live in Cleebourg, a small village in northeastern France. This week, Frank asked me to help him in Our Brida. I think he said something about in exchange for food, but I don't really understand that. Can somebody explain to me what that means?" This was Friday's first message, and now we need to look at what did Friday do. Friday did 4 things. She greeted us, she introduced herself, she shared some information, and she started engaging other people. So, greeting, introducing, sharing information, and engaging. This is what Friday did. Let's look at what Friday said. She greeted us very simply by saying hello. She introduced herself by saying her name is. She shared information by saying that she is a cat, she lives somewhere, she had a conversation with Frank, and there seems to be a problem. And she started engaging with us because she asked a question. So, did anything happen? Yes, there was a reaction. Frank wrote, "Hello, Friday. Welcome to the community. It is really nice to see you here, and I look forward to your support. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as a free lunch. That means when you help me in my work, you get your food and lodging, your bed. But don't worry, you won't have to work too hard. What are your thoughts?" So, in Frank's reply, you see the 4 elements: the greeting, the welcoming, the information, and the engaging in a conversation. And as a bonus, you get a free typing mistake. So, what do you do in such a situation in this posting? Again, you do 4 things. You greet, you welcome, you share information or you explain something, and you ask a question. But what do you say? For example, you could say, "Hello, Friday. You're welcome to the community." Then, depending on what your message is, you formulate it badly or positively, and then you ask a question to engage the person in conversation. So, how does this all fit into the Our Brida world? Let me start by saying that many people come to me with a simple statement. They say, "I want to improve my English." And then many people say that the way they want to do that is by learning the grammar and learning lots and lots of vocabulary. And then when they answer my question, "Why do you need it?" they give me a context. They need it for their job, they need it for traveling, or one of many different individual reasons. There is a problem with this approach, and that is that it is too big and it's too unclear. Because normally people don't really know why they want to improve their English and how best they can do it, because they say, "You're the teacher, you sort it out." So when we look at it more closely, we have to see, what do you do? Or what do you want to do? or what do you have to do? And you don't look at it in the context, you look at it in the language. So there might be times when you have to welcome somebody. There might be times you have to share an experience, so you're sharing something. There might be times when you ask for information, so you are asking. It's not be sharing experiences, you could be sharing information. You might have to give an opinion, you might make suggestions. You will certainly be asking questions, and hopefully you'll be engaging people in a conversation. And this is what you are doing in Our Brida. That is the communication process. And in the first 6 weeks, since we have launched this, you have, without realizing it, generated 23 such language blocks, language elements, whatever you want to call them. So if we look at it again in a different angle, you come to me and you look at vocab and grammar. That is your expectation. But look where it is in the chain. It's actually at the very end. You need to go to the front and look at it differently. The context, we start with the context. It's your work, it's traveling, it is whatever it could be. In this context are a number of situations. And these situations determine what you have to do. Now, that means, do you share information? Do you give advice? Do you give an opinion? When you know what you have to do, then you start understanding what you have to say. That is your message. And once you know what you have to say, then you can start looking at the vocab and the grammar if you need it. That is the process. So you don't start here, you actually go back a few steps and you start here. Now, communicating in Our Brida is a little different. First of all, communicating with me is not your best solution. Yeah, I'm just a teacher. My job is to turn this wheel, to keep the conversation going, and to support you in the little details here. So if you don't communicate with me, who do you communicate with? You communicate with other community members. A, it's much, much, much more interesting, and B, it's much, much more realistic. And what do you do? What do you say? What do you talk about? Well, you share experiences, you share information. This is what you do. Yeah, these language blocks is advice, opinions, experiences, information. Now, when this happens, you get a reaction. You not necessarily get a reaction from the teacher, but you should get a reaction from these people here. And if they are silent, then that is still a reaction. So, if you take the context, what you do and what you say, and how people react, then that is your improving in English. But you get something else. You don't just get the language, you get the content. Because if we have different people with different nationalities coming from different backgrounds, but you have one thing in common, which is the English language, then you get all of this in English. And that is how the Our Brida platform works. So if we go back to our introduction scenario, we have, if you are introducing yourself, you introduce yourself first, you share some information, you engage people in conversation by asking questions. If you are already in the community, then you welcome people, you introduce yourself, you share some information, and you engage people in conversation by asking questions. And there are two very good examples in Our Brida that show this. Bernard introduces himself and Levant introduces himself. What is different is that this person lives in one country and this person lives in another country. And if you apply these blocks, you get a lot of conversation, you get a lot of English, you get a lot of words, a lot of vocabulary, a lot of experience. You get a realistic environment. And thank you to all of you who have responded to these 2 introductions. So, thanks for watching the first Brida News. Stay tuned for another Our Brida video coming soon.